a good song, Thani. The music that's been the most impactful for me and the music that you make generally is music that tells a story, that uses metaphor.
Leading into those metaphors are like a really good way to like bypass people's defense
I
systems.
think everybody is building their beliefs and building their lives and their, just who they are around stories that they're told or that they hear or that they read.
So there's lots of deeper meanings in this relatively poppy sounding song that you convey through your intensity and through your emotional connection with the music.
People have these walls up, and when you start to tell a story, they start to come down.
I think that you have the strength uniquely of, telling stories.
You want to bend the music and bend the sounds to fit the meaning of the words that you're trying to convey.
Your willingness to talk about dark things.
It doesn't feel very fluffy as much as the song is more of an uppy kind of poppy sound.
Honest about how you haven't always been necessarily successful per se.
Not in a cavalier way necessarily, but just like in an honest way.
Also honest that maybe, there was a bit of, you've been prideful before.
So on the one hand, there's a huge emphasis in pop music on the personal satisfaction, the you only live once, a fear of missing out fueled kind of party mentality.
I mean, with Christian music specifically, I kind of have some gripes with it, but I'm afraid to say things like that because I don't want to be like a bad Christian.
I see content that's unable to like fully address the struggles of a lot of non-believers.
One thing I've noticed in a lot of modern Christian music that's like played on the radio and in regular music too, we often portray the whole like, God, you are good, everything's good.
And even like as a believer, I don't find it particularly comforting.
And we're gonna build a nation on a hill, and just all these like Christianisms that feel not personal.
When you're by yourself and you're not feeling it, all of a sudden the meaning behind those musics is a little bit harder to grasp.
I can't really relate to that.
Better music and better art needs to exist by Christian creatives because we're ambassadors for Christ.
Good art deserves to be critiqued, because if it's really good art, then it will stand on its own even so.
There is a lot of potential there to like reach believers and non-believers with good music, and that's why I think more of it needs to exist.
And you're artistic, you dive deeper than I think a normal person would.
I could listen to your music a million times and then notice something else that I hadn't noticed before.